Rockstar Games is no stranger to taking jabs at real-life politicians. If you openly hate Grand Theft Auto, and you have for years, well, they'll do with you what they did with Jack Thompson in the mission Final Interview, where we take out this very annoying attorney. Or they might just turn you into a statue. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Grand Theft Auto character that is loosely based on Donald Trump, but we're talking obviously 1980s to early 2000s Donald Trump, as this character takes place across GTA Vice City, Liberty City Stories, and Grand Theft Auto 3. We're also going to be discussing the mysterious disappearance of this character from Grand Theft Auto and what actually happened to him. Now, for those of you who don't really care, because I know nobody does, but I've had this idea since 2016, and we're finally bringing it to fruition. So, if y'all enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. A little love goes a very long way. Let's go for 2,000 likes on this video. And with that said, let's take a look at this Grand Theft Auto character loosely based on Donald Trump and his mysterious disappearance. To begin, let's start things off with Donald Trump references in Grand Theft Auto. Now, I need to make one thing clear, that these references to Trump are pre-Donald Trump being president of the United States. This is from the year 2001 all the way up until 2008. And before this, and before Donald Trump's presidency, obviously he's been a very iconic star in media, real estate, so he's been around for a while. And the very first ever Donald Trump reference in Grand Theft Auto actually comes from 1997. That's right, and it's actually Trump Tower on the cover of Grand Theft Auto 1. So behind the GTA 1 logo, we actually see this tower, and that's the base of Trump Tower in New York City, looking up. Now, the next reference to Donald Trump in Grand Theft Auto is, once again, Trump Towers, also known as Cleethorpes Tower in Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, in GTA 4, the tower is not based on Trump in GTA 4, but it's identical to it in real life. So what do I mean by that? Well, obviously the buildings look the exact same, but in GTA 4, it's not Trump Tower, like I said, it's Cleethorpes Tower. And the actual history of this tower in Grand Theft Auto 4 is, it was built by Lyle Cleethorpes, an heir to a 5-generation fortune built on tobacco and slave trade. And Lyle is the laughingstock of this very, very rich family, who is also a product of inbreeding. That's just typical Rockstar satire right there. Lyle aspires to be famous, which is why he built the tower, and he constantly gains media attention for his meth addiction and favorite pastime of driving and crashing cars at very high speeds while high on drugs. Now, Lyle Cleethorpes is actually based on the Astor family and the Rothschilds. So, other than that, those are kind of the only references to Donald Trump in Grand Theft Auto, but we have Donald Love and his mysterious disappearance, this mysterious character, and he goes on to appear in GTA Vice City, GTA Liberty City Stories, and Grand Theft Auto 3. So, what similarities do Donald Love and Donald Trump have in common? I know what you're saying. Dude, these guys don't look anything alike. Just because their names are Donald doesn't mean that this is a reference to Donald Trump. That's the first similarity, the names. But the second similarity is where things get interesting. Both of these characters and real-life icons are real estate moguls. Now, Donald Love learns the ways of real estate in 1986 in Vice City when he becomes the protege of Avery Carrington, learns his corrupt ways, and after Vice City, he actually moves to Liberty City, establishes himself as a businessman, builds the Love Media Building, which actually resembles Trump Tower to an extent, not all the way, and this is in Grand Theft Auto 3. The third similarity is their failed political campaigns. So for those of you who don't know, before Donald Trump became president, 16 years before, in the year 2000, Donald Trump had a failed 2000 presidential campaign. Well, a similarity that ensues between Donald Love and Donald Trump is that in 1998, Donald Love ran for mayor of Liberty City and actually failed the campaign. So that's the third similarity that we have. Now, the fourth one here, you can argue and you can debate because I'm kind of 50-50 on this one, but you can argue the look of these characters. From their fashion to their hairstyle, it is very similar. The suit and tie, and just the similar kind of swept over big puffy hair. Now, the only difference between this, obviously, is Donald Love's hair is brown, Trump's is golden. Now, this one, like I said, it's reaching a little bit, but I did want to throw that in there. So, let's talk about the history of Donald Love. Now that we've kind of got the similarities out of the way, this very mysterious character in Grand Theft Auto all but disappears after appearing in 3 Grand Theft Auto games with a very ambiguous fate. So, to start this, we're going to have to go back to 1986. In GTA Vice City, Donald Love becomes the protege of Avery Carrington, that guy who gives us the really annoying RC helicopter missions. Now, we see him in different cutscenes following Avery around with a pad and pen. Looks like he's learning the ways. Now, in this time frame, we actually meet Donald Love. Unbeknownst to us, this guy is going to appear in multiple GTA games. Now, Donald Love goes on between 1986 and 1998 to learn the corrupt ways of Avery Carrington, move to Liberty City, and establish himself as a very successful businessman, where he also goes on to enter the race to become the mayor of Liberty City. Now, those right there are actual similarities to real-life Donald Trump, who popped up in the early 80s and really established himself as a businessman in New York City. So, kind of interesting right there how those two things are comparable. Now, I just want to say that this character is not 100% based on Donald Trump, that's obvious, but he is loosely based around Donald Trump, it seems like, whether it be multiple real-life people combined, one real-life person combined with fiction and different made-up stuff. Who knows, but there's just tons of similarities there. So anyways, as far as becoming the mayor of Liberty City with a failed campaign, he actually hires us in Liberty City Stories, or Tony Cipriani, to assassinate all of his opponents. We also find out along the way that he is a cannibal and a necrophiliac. He's weird, really weird. He likes to eat people and do things with bodies. So anyways, Donald Love goes on to lose the election of 1998, and he goes bankrupt in doing so. He goes from a very wealthy man to nothing, which prompts him to kill Avery Carrington, his mentor, the guy from Vice City, and steal his real estate plans for Liberty City in order to become rich again. So he hires us to take out Avery Carrington. He then goes on to eat Avery Carrington and becomes rich again. But this time he has the cartel trying to take him out for causing a huge uproar. Now, between 1998 and 2001, Donald Love goes on to live on a yacht in the Caribbean. He returns to Liberty City in March 2001, expands his business empire, establishes over 900 radio stations, 300 TV stations, 4 networks, and 3 satellites. So this man has made quite the comeback, and he's very successful. This time, he's also working with the Colombian cartel, the guys who were trying to kill him a few years ago. He also hires an old Oriental gentleman to teach him Tai Chi. Now, that old Oriental gentleman is going to come into play because in October 2001, when GTA 3 starts out, well, the old Oriental gentleman actually got kidnapped by the Colombian cartel. He's that old man from the very beginning opening scene to Grand Theft Auto 3. So fast forward a little bit, Donald Love is now overseeing the development of Fort Staunton to become even more wealthier than he already is when the old Oriental gentleman is kidnapped by the Colombian cartel, like I said at the beginning of Grand Theft Auto 3. We're also in that prison convoy where the old Oriental gentleman gets kidnapped. So Donald Love hires us to rescue the gentleman from the cartel. He has us kill Yakuza and Kenji to provoke a gang war that will drive down property prices so he could buy them for new real estate to build. We also find Catalina in the search for the old Oriental gentleman, and the final mission with Donald Love actually has us acting as a decoy to allow Donald Love and the old Oriental gentleman to escape. And they disappear with an ambiguous ending, meaning we don't know their fates and what really happened to them. So, what happened to Donald Love? Well, Rockstar kind of answered that in 2009 on an AMA on their website when a fan asked, "I'd like to know the whole story behind Donald Love. What was in the package, and why did he run away with the Asian guy? I always assumed it was human flesh or something, LOL, because he's a necrophiliac and all. Rockstar said, no one is quite sure what happened to Donald Love. He certainly crossed a few boundaries and was trying to find a way back to normality. Whether or not he managed this and what happened to the elderly Asian gentleman are matters we cannot speculate on. So Rockstar leaves it up to the fans to wonder what happened to Donald Love. And this is something you guys have been asking me for many, many years. And unfortunately, I don't even have an answer to that. Now, lastly, on the topic of Donald Love, let's talk about some appearances he's made in Grand Theft Auto, aside from GTA 3, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City. So, in GTA Advance, which takes place in the year 2000, we can actually see a billboard for Love Media, Donald Love's very popular brand. In Grand Theft Auto 4, he appears on a newspaper talking about his tax problems. In Grand Theft Auto 5, the same headline does appear. And in Grand Theft Auto 5, he also has a star on the Walk of Fame in Vinewood. So, other than that, that's Donald Love for you. That's this very mysterious character who is also loosely based off the current president of the United States. So, Rockstar was making fun of this guy before he was the president. Pretty crazy. Typical Rockstar, though. So, if y'all enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Let's go for 2,000 likes. That would be really awesome. Thank y'all so much for the amazing support. And with that said, I'm Zach Cox. Love you all, and I hope to see ya in the next video.